Ladies and gentlemen, my name is BrendenPlayz and this is WWE 2k19 Universe Mode and NXT for today. It's going to be a big one. We're going to have the Undisputed Era, the former tag team champions, in action here tonight in our main event. Before we get to NXT this week on main event will be Chad Gable taking on Elias one-on-one. Elias, a member of Insurgents who is on a roll. Rusev and Shelton Benjamin will team up. We'll see how this team fares against the B team. And Sonya Deville will take on Alicia Fox in one-on-one action. So the results, let's get to it. Elias picks up a win over Gable. The B team beat Rusev and Benjamin. And Sonya picks up a win over Alicia Fox. On NXT this week, Rhea Ripley, she's back. She'll be taking on Io Shirai. Lio Rush will face Mustafa Ali in Cruiserweight action. Lindsay Dorado and Kalisto Lucha House Party will face Heavy Machinery, Otis, and Tucker. That should be a good contest there between two good teams. Chelsea Green looking to get her start here in NXT with a victory over Maria Kanellis. Maria yet to get a victory herself. Can she find one tonight? Tyler Bate, Johnny Gargano, and two of the great cruiserweights battled out tonight. And Oney Lorcan and Denny Burch, they'll be in action, teaming up together to take on Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Undisputed Era. Io Shirai picks up a win over Rhea Ripley. Mustafa Ali defeats Lio Rush. The Lucha House Party with a massive victory there. They really needed that one. Gets them back on track. Overhead Machinery. And Maria, that's her first victory here in Universe Mode history. It's over Chelsea Green. Our first match of the night, Tyler Bate versus Johnny Gargano. This will be very, very interesting. Tyler Bate's been involved in the Cruiserweight Championship mix on a number of occasions, and we know he's come so close, but just that little bit out of reach for him. But tonight could be a huge chance for him to do so, as Johnny Gargano, the former Cruiserweight champion, looks to bounce back after losing that championship at NXT Takeover. We'll see how this all fares, how this all goes down here tonight. Tyler Bate has been impressive. He's been teaming with his good friend Trent Seven, part of Mustache Mountain as well, with some moderate success here and there. They've had some moments where they've really looked good, have some moments where they haven't quite been at their best. Tyler Bate, still very young, still learning, still growing as a competitor, and tonight this is a big opportunity for him to perhaps learn a thing or two from Johnny Gargano and how to potentially be one of the top tier stars in this division. Johnny Gargano, a man who has got a wealth of experience. Johnny Gargano, in fact, has had the most matches here in NXT currently on the roster, and also the most wins from anybody here in NXT currently on the roster. So Johnny Gargano, 70% of his matches he has won. That is a mighty good figure. Not many superstars in Universe Mode have got a number like that, but Johnny Gargano certainly does. There's a good start there with a Northern Lights suplex. Right hand to follow it up there on Tyler Bate. So Johnny Gargano looking to start well here, but a collar elbow tied up as now Gargano will shrug off Tyler Bate. And oh, an enziguri. Nice start here from Johnny Gargano, really putting the boots right to the face there of Tyler Bate, and showing us who the boss is right now, the former multiple-time Cruiserweight champion. There's all a boot there by Bate, and Gargano goes down. Recently at Takeover, we saw Johnny Gargano lose his championship to Tommaso Ciampa in what was a great matchup between the two. Finally, we got to see Ciampa and Gargano go head-to-head, and Ciampa was the better man on that occasion. Beautifully done there by Johnny. And, you know, Johnny Gargano, I think when I look at him, when it comes to the Cruiserweight Championship, he just made a big mistake. I think he just took the championship just that little bit too seriously. You know, he became obsessed with it. You know, when anyone had their eye on the championship, he would attack them. He would do everything he could to try and keep that championship. That's all well and good, and I respect that. But I think he just took it that little bit too far, where this obsession got the better of him. You know, he became, you know, not clear-minded. He certainly started making a lot of mistakes. he started, picking up fights that he probably couldn't handle at the time. And ultimately, I think Tommaso Ciampa just got in his head, and was able to get the better of Johnny Gargano in their exchange at TakeOver. It was a great matchup, don't get me wrong. Johnny Gargano certainly proved that he's one of the best guys right now in the division, and I'm sure he will get back there at one point. But Johnny right now has got to make that call as he looked to try and, cool off a little bit, take his time, and build himself back up to potentially being Cruiserweight champion again, or does he, just go all in, go back all in, and just try and do the same thing that worked not too long ago. It's a tough thing for Johnny because, I think at the moment he definitely has the ability to beat Tommaso Ciampa, no doubt about that. But is he in the right mind space? I don't know. Not only that, Johnny Gargano, he's been Cruiserweight champion a couple of occasions now. I also think he could be the NXT champion. I think he could win the big championship here in NXT. And EC3 currently has the championship right now. He's a new champion. He's obviously been around for a while. But he's a man that we haven't really seen him tested at a high level just yet. And, he could be a little bit vulnerable against someone like Johnny Gargano, who's got a lot of experience himself. And, that's an opportunity, and that's an avenue that I think Johnny could potentially take. I think he's good enough to be NXT champion. So, if I'm Johnny Gargano, maybe the Cruiserweight Championship isn't for me. If he believes that Tommaso Ciampa may have his number, may get the better of him, there's a nice suplex again on the outside, then that might be an option for Johnny Gargano to look to go elsewhere. As I said, he's won 70% of his matches, and that's not 70% of matches against some, low-end guys. That's 70% of his matches against some really top-level talent here in the Cruiserweight division and beyond. Also the tag team division as well, been a tag team champ in the past. He's the real deal. Johnny Gargano is the real deal. And if you put him in that main event scenario against EC3 for the championship on the line, he might have a new one, that's for sure, as Tyler Bate kicks out. The reason why this match is so crucial for Tyler Bate tonight, not only does it, catapult him and propel him potentially into the Cruiserweight Championship mix, but, his record is less than impressive. It's, 36% of his matches, so, Johnny Gargano's got a near double the amount of win percentage on Tyler Bate. That's a huge number, and that just clearly shows that Bate consistently just doesn't quite have it yet. He can pick up wins here and there, but he's losing more than he's winning. And tonight, a win like this can change the game for you. As a big front splash off the top there by Johnny Gargano. Could be all here for Tyler Bate and a kick out. Johnny Gargano looking to quicken the pace a little bit here. And, the fans at the moment aren't really sure how to react to Johnny. They know that he's a passionate man. They know he's really, really focused on being Cruiserweight champion and being the best Cruiserweight champion possible. But the way he's gone about it, I don't know. It's hard to really, cheer or boo the guy. One hand, you respect, the hunt and the desire to be champion. On the other hand, it's hard to really respect the way he's gone about it. Hard to really appreciate and like what he's been up to. Attacking the likes of Ricochet, backstage, just because, he wanted to have an opportunity. He came to NXT just to potentially get himself a shot at the championship and get himself in the mix, and attacking him straight away before he really even was in the mix. These types of things that Johnny's done, I don't know. I hope that now that he's no longer champion, perhaps he'll mellow out a little bit and just kind of clear his head and take a step back and wonder, does sacrificing your integrity, is that really worth it to be champion? And some guys will say yes. Some guys will not. It'll be interesting to see what Johnny Gargano decides. Tyler Bate with an uppercut there on Johnny. Bate, he's hanging in here right now. He's going to spring off the ropes and a flying uppercut. Beautifully executed there with a springboard. And now Tyler Bate. Oh, he missed out there. I think he tried to flip his way over and connect with a kick, but it didn't quite happen the way he would have liked it to be. And it's Gargano with the right hand. And now Johnny. Oh, a DDT onto the apron. A DDT by Johnny Gargano, and Tyler Bate landed head first, and he bounced off the hardest part of the ring, and he may be seriously hurt now. Northern Lights to follow it up, and now Gargano will throw him back in the ring. I think he's finished. If he covers him here, it's over. He's not going to do that yet, though. There's Johnny Gargano. Will drive him back into the corner. I mean, Tyler Bate's got to be seriously hurt after the DDT. He may have a concussion. Bate tried to find the kick. Gargano grabbed him, though, and hangs him up on the ropes. More damage being dealt. And I think Johnny Gargano realizes he's got his man. He's got this match wrapped up. Into the cover, wasting a lot of time. Will it get him? No. But Johnny Gargano, there's the confidence that Johnny has now. He knows that he can win just about any match he's involved in. He's been there before. He's won a lot of matches. He's got a huge, confidence. There's a bit of swagger about him as well. The way he comes to the ring. He believes in himself. He knows in his ability. And slamming down Tyler Bate right there. And Gargano will try and pick up Bate. No. And a drop kick. Standing drop kick. Johnny goes down. And now Tyler Bate has a real chance to bounce back here. And maybe his last chance, because Johnny Gargano's had the better of him for the majority of the match. Time's running out for Tyler Bate. He's going to try and produce something soon, but he's missed out there as a hurricane runner leaps down and takes out Tyler Bate. Does Gargano, and now will pick him up. Drives him down. And that's got to be it, surely. Tyler Bate hanging on by a thread right now. And here is the cover, the hook of the leg. Bate's down, and he'll kick out though. Tyler Bate not giving up yet. Okay, this is good. Tyler Bate showing a bit of fight. He wants to hang in there. Oh no, he's missed again. Another bad miss from Bate. He can't afford to do those mistakes. Gargano trying to go to the top, but it's not quite on yet. Bate with a chance. But Tyler Bate with two bad misses in this match, and it's costing him. Full head of steam into the uppercut. Tyler Bate still in this match. But time's running out. Oh, a cutter there by Gargano. And he hit that so quickly, snapping down Tyler Bate, who is crawling towards the ropes, trying to get to his feet. Gargano just waiting and waiting. And now the full Nelson drives him down. Oh, man. That's got to be it. Johnny Gargano planning Tyler Bate down. And that's all. This man, Johnny Gargano, you gotta admire him for this. Losing the Cruiserweight Championship, but not hanging his head in shame, not, crying, not being, sulking and not complaining. Gets back in the ring, picks up a win, and puts himself back in the mix again. I gotta appreciate that from Johnny Gargano. I don't appreciate everything he's done, but you gotta appreciate that. He has picked up a big win. Tyler Bate is one of the fast rising stars here on the brand, but unfortunately tonight just wasn't his night. He'll come back another day, and I think he'll give Johnny Gargano a run for his money next time they match up. But tonight, not quite to be for Tyler Bate. Just a couple of little silly areas, a few mistakes that he could have easily avoided. If he had have, maybe things would have went differently. But tonight, it was Johnny Gargano's night, and this man, he'll have a date set in the future for sure for a championship. The question is, will it be the Cruiserweight or perhaps the NXT Championship that Johnny Gargano sets his sights on? We'll find out soon. As he celebrates a very important victory, Tyler Bate, you can see in the background there, visibly upset, frustrated. Yet again, another loss in his career, but it's early days for Tyler. He will bounce back. We move on to our next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, and it will be a tag team matchup featuring Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, who will face off against the former tag team champions of the Undisputed Era. I like what we see from Lorcan and Burch. They're a tough tag team. Excitement may not be the word you would use when you describe them, but they get it done. They've been a pretty reasonably successful tag team here in Universe Mode. A couple of victories to their name. But they've still got a lot more to prove, I feel, as a team. They've still got a lot more work to do. And they've had their battles with the Undisputed Era, and they've had their chances against the tag team champions of the past. But now, the Undisputed Era no longer champions. They have been Well, shocked is to say the word. They were very much so surprised when they finally took a loss. They lost their tag team championships to the undefeated War Raiders, who will now be known as the Viking Raiders going forward. And a bit of a name change to celebrate them winning the tag team championships, looking to spice it up a little bit and change what they used to be. Now, the Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish on your left, Kyle O'Reilly on your right. It's so strange not seeing with gold around their waist, but they have been a dominant tag team. No doubt, 81% win ratio, which is just nearly unheard of, that type of number. You know, you only really see that type of high quality number from someone who, you know, maybe is undefeated, such as the Viking Raiders. But for someone like the Undisputed Era, who's been around for about a year now here in NXT, to be having that type of number for that consistency, that length of time, it's truly special. It goes to show how great, how dominant this group has been here in NXT. But now that Adam Cole's no longer champion, the Undisputed Era no longer have the tag team championships, you have to wonder, is this power starting to slip away? It was a night to forget at TakeOver for the Undisputed Era, and now they're on the rebound. Can they rebuild themselves? Can they get themselves back off the ground and somehow find a way to pick up a victory and win back what they lost? Will not be easy, no doubt. It will not be easy whatsoever, but I think they can do it. You know, there's a reason why they've had the success they've had. There's a reason why they're as good as they are. It's because, you know, they are above the competition. You don't just lose that overnight from one loss. They're going to be back. They're going to be back in the mix. And I'm sure a rematch will come their way soon against the Viking Raiders. But they've got to be prepared for that. Viking Raiders have not lost. And it could be a case of these guys just infiltrate the division and they're just simply above the rest. They're just too dominant, too big, too strong. And that's a bit of a case with them. You know, they do have a lot of size about them. And they can be very, very menacing, very, very tough to handle and deal with. And I'd be quite afraid if I'm the tag team division of having to match up with them in the future for the tag team titles. Because, in my opinion, right now here in NXT, there really isn't a team that kind of matches up with them that well. And it might be a case of them out-muscling, out-powering everybody, to the point where there might be no point of return. The Viking Raiders could quite possibly be tag team champions for a long, long time. It'll have to take a crafty and experienced tag team like the Undisputed Era. There's a double suplex there. Both members of Undisputed Era getting involved in hitting the suplex on Denny Burch. I think it's going to have to take an experienced tag team like the Undisputed Era to get the job done. You know, new teams such as Burch and Lorcan may not be as effective. And, you know, we look down the line of tag teams here in the division, you know, there really isn't a team that's been together for a really long period of time. You know, Heavy Machinery's been around for a while. Mustache Mountain is pretty new. Street Profits, they've been around for a little bit. You know, there really isn't a team that's got a lot of matches here in Universe Mode other than the Undisputed Era. So you'd have to be very wary of that if you are the Viking Raiders, and the potential that, you know, there really isn't that strong threat right now other than the former tag team champions. But, you know, experience isn't everything. It certainly helps. But all it takes is 3 seconds to find a way to beat your opponent and change their life. And a team such as Lorcan and Burch, I think, had the ability to string together that type of momentum. You know, a couple of victories here and there might just give them a lot of confidence. And a team like that, you know, that'll be hard to stop. As now, he's got the arm! They're locking in the armbar! Locked in, and Denny Burch got nowhere to go. Kyle O'Reilly could be about to make him tap out. But O'Reilly, no, he's going to be able to break free of it. You know, we look at the Undisputed Era. I know Adam Cole was the NXT champion for a long, long time, but I actually believe that Kyle O'Reilly, shockingly, was probably the MVP of the group over the period of time. You know, that they've been so dominant. It's surprising to say that, I know, but yeah, Kyle O'Reilly, man, he's just had some really special performances and matchups that, you know, that stand out, and he definitely could be anything here in NXT. I know he's well and truly locked into this Undisputed Era group, but you never know, one day if things start to change and their Undisputed Era are no longer here for whatever reason, O'Reilly's got the tools to do some great things here in NXT. Oney Lorcan in the ring right now there with Kyle O'Reilly, and Oney Lorcan, definitely a guy to keep an eye out for. You know, I know he hasn't quite accomplished all that much yet, but he's been involved in the Cruiserweight scene, he's been involved in the NXT Championship scene, and he's one of those guys that, you know, you just got to keep an eye out for. He's going to fly under the radar, he's going to do good things, but you might not notice or might not pay too much attention to whilst he's doing it, but you know he's there doing some great things in the background. Nice powerbomb there from Lorcan now. He's going to get O'Reilly back to his feet here and drive him into the corner. And an uppercut to follow it up there. Nicely executed as Oney Lorcan's starting to get a little bit of momentum building now as deadlifts him up into another powerbomb. Sit out powerbomb from Oney Lorcan. And all of a sudden O'Reilly is rocked and O'Reilly is down and Lorcan going to line him up. And oh no! O'Reilly with a counter, the back body drop. And a missed opportunity for Oney Lorcan. Now the brainbuster into the cover straight away. And he'll get a 2 count. Well, he could have probably improved the cover there. He didn't grab the leg at all. And if he had have, I think Lorcan was in trouble. And, oh no, look at this submission from O'Reilly. And turns it into a pinning predicament. The shoulders are down, referee a little slow in position, and he'll only get 1 because of it. Well, that's disappointing. O'Reilly now. Gonna line up Oney Lorcan. Kyle O'Reilly grabs a hold of him. And now looking for the guillotine. He's got it locked in. And Danny Burch. Is he going to break it up? He got it in the ring. He's not breaking anything up. But Lorcan picks him up and slams him down. Just barely escaping. Well, Danny Burch got in there, but he didn't break it up. I think he was just telling Lorcan to fight through it. And that's the type of team these guys are. You know, they're not going to help each other out all that much by the looks of it. But, you know, tell them to toughen up, fight through the pain. As Lorcan. Cheap shot there by Bobby Fish. Well, I can tell you this, Bobby Fish, he'll break up anything to help his tag team partner out. They're not too proud. They'll do whatever it takes. As now, over the top of the rope goes O'Reilly. And Oney Lorcan, all of a sudden, I gotta say, Oney Lorcan's looking pretty good at the moment. He's certainly impressing here. And we'll see what he can do at the course of this match, because right now, I'm liking what we're seeing from him. But Oney Lorcan picked up now by O'Reilly, slammed on the apron. Well, Lorcan and Burch, they've got a stat that you don't really want here in NXT, the most losses out of any team in the division. But, you know, you just see them in this type of match and you go, wow, these guys, they're pretty good. And I feel like, you know, they'll get their big break at some point. And right now, they're really taking it to the Undisputed Era. But Kyle O'Reilly, last couple of seconds here, has really started to bounce back, but now all of a sudden the clothesline, maybe not just yet. A little bit of fight left in the tank of Oney Lorcan with an open-handed strike. And Kyle O'Reilly, what's he planning to do here? The count continues to grow. He needs to get back inside the ring unless he wants a count-out victory, which he may take. Oney Lorcan. And Kyle O'Reilly realizing, count of 9, O'Reilly's got to get in, he's taking his time, and he does. Decide to go in through the ropes instead of sliding in. Northern Lights could be it, bridges through, and a kick out. Lorcan nearly caught him out there, and catching him off guard, and almost sealing the deal and stealing the victory. Oney Lorcan now into the corner, thinking about something here. What's he got planned next? Oney Lorcan grabbing the body of Kyle O'Reilly. No. Unable to capitalize as O'Reilly shot to the midsection. Gonna pick him up. Brainbuster. Straight away to the cover. Maybe it here. This time Burch trying to break it up, and he does the second time. Just keeping this match alive for his teammate, but for how much longer? Oney Lorcan's in a bit of trouble. Danny Burch realizing the desperation here as Bobby Fish trying to fend off Burch. Now the guillotine locked in. Lorcan nowhere to go. Just stuffing a brainbuster. He'll be hurting. And he submits. He's got nothing left, Lorcan. And he put up a big fight. But in the end, It was the Undisputed Era. Just that little bit too good tonight. And they're able to secure a much needed victory. A bounce back win after losing their tag team titles to the Viking Raiders. The Undisputed Era are back in the winner's circle. A much important victory for them. Well, they are starting to build a bit of momentum and things are heating up in NXT. It'll be interesting to see, will it be the Undisputed Era winning back those tag titles, or will the Viking Raiders get the better of them? We'll find out soon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for this edition of Universe Mode. More coming away soon, including another big episode of Monday Night Raw next up. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already to see more episodes coming away in the near future. Check out the website BrendenPlayz.com for more Universe Mode coverage. Thanks for watching. See you next time.